do it. Chris and Phil. Whenever you guys are ready. Matt, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go, guys. And go.
Alice was getting tired of sitting by her sister on the riverbank with nothing to do. Once or twice she had peered into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversation in it. Alice wondered to herself why anybody would read a book without pictures or conversation. She thought about making a daisy chain, but didn't feel like getting up and picking the daisies. So she lay in her sister's lap and watched the cloud. Suddenly, a white rabbit with pink eyes ran by. And so begins the tale of Alice in Wonderland, where the adventures get curiouser and curiouser. And Alice is the only one who makes sense of this tale of nonsense. Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll.
Oh dear, I'll be late.
The rabbit took a watch out of his pocket, looked at it, and then hurried away. Alice jumped to her feet and ran across after it. After the large rabbit popped down the hole under the hedge, and Alice followed. She made her way through the narrow passage when suddenly it dropped. She seemed to be falling very slowly, so she spent her time looking around. Cupboards, bookshelves, maps, and pictures that hung on nails filled the walls of the well. Down, down, down she went. Will this fall ever come to an end? I wonder how many miles I've gone. I must be getting near the center of the earth. I wonder if I'll fall right through it.
Down, down, down. There's nothing else to do.
Diana will miss me, I think.
Yeah, and it was her cat.
Oh, I wish you were down here with me, Diana.
She dozed off and dreamed that she was walking hand in hand with her cat. Then suddenly, thump, thump, and the fall was over. Alice stood up and wiped herself off. She looked up to see a head fallen from. In front of her, a long passageway, and the white rabbit was running down it.
Oh my ears and whiskers, how late's going to get?
There Alice stood alone in a long hallway with doors all around her, but they were all locked. She decided to walk a little farther ahead to see what she could find. She came to a three-legged table made of glass with nothing on it except a tiny golden key. Behind it was a little door about 15 inches high, so she tried the little golden key and it fit.
She opened the door, knelt down and looked through, and saw the most beautiful garden she had ever seen. She went to the back table, hoping she would find another key in it, or a book of rules to tell her how to get through the door. Instead, she found a bottle. The words, "Drink me," printed on it. She tasted the delicious mixture and quickly finished it. What a curious feeling. I must be getting smaller. And now the right size to go through the little door and into the garden. She went back to the door, but had forgotten the key. She could see high above on the table and tried her best to climb up on one of the legs of the table, but it was too slippery. As she wiped her tears in the eyes, she noticed the glass box under the table. Eat me. Well, I'll eat it. If it makes me grow bigger, I can reach the key. If I get smaller, I can slide under the door.
Curiouser and curiouser, I'm glowing like a growing leaf.
She sprouted up over 9 feet high. Poor Alice. She was too big to fit through the door, and all she could do was lie down on one side and look into the garden with one eye. She started crying, scolding herself.
Oh, you ought to be ashamed of yourself crying like this. Stop it right now.
And she went on, spilling gallons of tears until there was a huge pool around her. Suddenly, she heard the pattering of feet. Quickly dried her eyes to see what was coming. There it was, the white rabbit. And he looked like he was in a hurry.
Oh, the Duchess! Hope she will be angry if I keep her waiting.
In an attempt to get some help, Alice called out, If you please, sir.
She startled the rabbit. He dropped what he was carrying, and he ran away. On the ground, Alice saw white gloves and a fan. She picked them up. She began to fan herself, then suddenly started to shrink, growing smaller and smaller. She was small enough to fit through the door again, but she couldn't get the key that was high on the glass table. Suddenly, she slipped, splash. She fell into the pool of water, and from her tears, then she just heard something splashing in the water and looked to see. A mouse.
Do you know where I was born?
The mouse ignored her, so she decided to get its attention.
Where's my cat?
The mouse jumped up out of the water, shaking with fear.
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't like cats.
Not like cats. Would you like a cat if you were me? Now let's get to the shore and I'll tell you why I hate cats. I said,